Hello and welcome in to another episode of Rolling with My Special Friends. Today, you guys are going to really want to listen in tight on this one because we've got the most unique set of young ladies that are coming to us. I call them the dynamic duo because I could sit here and take another 5 minutes to list all the different things between them they've accomplished or even got going on right now. But I'm going to let them, as we go through this podcast, tell us all about themselves. So, Miss Logan, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. How's Mama doing?
Right there.
She's doing good. All right. So tell everybody out there, Logan, how old are you?
5.
5 years old. Now, what's some of your favorite things to do?
What do you like to do?
I like to play.
You like to play? So what's
But
your
I have
favorite?
my slime.
She likes to play with slime.
Oh, okay. So what you got some favorite sports you like doing? Do you play basketball?
Not yet.
Yeah.
So when she turns 6 years old, she can join the basketball team at Lakeshore Rehab. So that's what we plan to do this fall is basketball. But what are you doing right now?
Karate.
Karate. Oh my goodness. So do you know some special moves?
Show them your chicken wing.
Oh, wow.
Show
That's
'em
pretty
how to
good.
block.
Goodness gracious. You do have it. Good
So
job.
she's taking some Taekwondo. And so anything, she does it in her wheelchair, and anything that requires leg work, they just make an alternate move for her arms. So she's really, really enjoying it. They go over stranger danger, and she really enjoys that. She gets to run around. Yep. Have some fun with the other kids.
Yeah.
All right, so Mama, take us through Logan. Obviously, there's a special story there, and everybody's tuning in that they want to hear about her. Tell us what she's got going on.
So Logan is, she was born with spina bifida. And what that means is there was a hole in her spine when she was born. It happened during the first few weeks of basically conception. We found out about at week 19 and that she had a hole in her back, and hers is unusually large. Usually spina bifida kids have a very small hole, like L4 to L5. Logan's extends from L1 all the way down to S5. So she had to have a plastic surgeon come in the day after she was born to help close that hole. And what that did is she has a form called myelomeningocele. It's the most severe kind. And so all of her nerves that go up against that spine were damaged. And so that left her paralyzed from the waist down. It's okay, we'll get in later. So she spent about a month in the NICU, and part of having spina bifida and having that hole means that the base of her brainstem was pulled down into the spinal cord or the spinal canal, and that created a herniation. So all of her cerebral spinal fluid got accumulated in her head area. And so they call that hydrocephalus. So a few weeks later, she had to have a VP shunt inserted to be able to drain that down her neck. And then it kind of accumulates in her abdomen area, and she excretes it through her urine. Okay. And she was also born with clubfoot because she was all kind of crunched up. I'm about 5 foot tall, so I am not that big, and she was all crunched up in there. And so she also had some surgery to correct the clubfoot. And so now her feet are straight.
Well, I've definitely been able to spend some time around you guys and see how amazing of a little girl she is and how just loving to everybody that she's been around. She's like a breath of fresh air when she comes into a room of people. And I just love to see that in people, those kind of people that can change people's lives by never even saying a word. And she's that kind of girl. Tell us now for some of the parents that are out there listening, what is the process? What did Mama feel like when she found out that there were going to be some things complications, we'll call it?
Well, it's nothing that you expect. I did have blood work. So we tried for about 3 years to have Logan and went through some complications, had some miscarriages. I had an ectopic pregnancy that resulted in me losing my left fallopian tube. And so she was really our miracle child. And so I had blood work done because at this point I was 36 years old. So I was in that high risk category and everything looked fine. So I thought we were golden, that we were going to have a normal pregnancy. And like I said, during that about 19 weeks, I guess, maybe 16-week appointment, we had an ultrasound and they noticed her what they call a banana shaped head. And that's that hydrocephalus that I kind of talked to you about. And so they sent us to a high risk OB. And that is when he diagnosed her with spina bifida. They did a much more in-depth ultrasound on her at that time. And I will be quite honest, he was very doom and gloom. He told us all of the worst case scenario and didn't give us a lot of hope. So he told us, she probably was not going to be able to eat or drink on her own, may die of SIDS shortly after birth because she would not be able to breathe on her own because it was right there at that thoracic level at L1. And just painted a very difficult picture for us, to the point where we didn't have a whole lot of hope and didn't know what kind of quality of life that she would have. It wasn't until we asked one of the neurosurgeons at Children's Hospital to sit down with us and actually talk us through what is spina bifida and what kind of quality of life can these kids have, that our whole entire vision changed. Instead of feeling helpless and hopeless and not knowing what was going to happen with this pregnancy, he gave us hope because he sees these kids and he follows them from the time they're born and they have their first surgery all the way up to they're 18 years old and they leave Children's Hospital. And, OBGYNs, they don't get to, they just deliver the babies and they don't see these kids grow up. And so he told us about just the different surgeries that are available that give these kids quality of life, the BP shunts, the back surgeries, and all of the physical therapy. I'm so sorry, you guys, she is a nut. She is a jokester. She loves to do funny things. But she, so we went from thinking she wasn't going to survive very long to knowing that she's going to live a very fulfilled and wonderful life. And that's what we've done. She swims, she does kayaking. What else do you do, baby? Horseback riding. Yeah. We've done t-ball. We've done dance. I even put her in ballet. I know, you little silly ghost. And she doesn't let anything stop her. We just basically figure out a way for her to be able to do things. And if that takes me being there by her side to facilitate that, I am 100% on board.
Wow. Well, and that's pretty neat too, because I'm just now, just like everybody else, learning a lot about your story and about her story. And one of the things I think from you and I talking recently that you've said that you really kind of wanted to emphasize is to make sure people out there know, even though she is in a wheelchair, that wheelchair is not her.
Absolutely. She just happens. That's just how she gets around. Logan has no cognitive deficit. She goes to preschool. She is going to go to regular kindergarten. She participates in every way with every activity. We just find her own way of doing things.
Okay, so now tell me, and I know we got a couple of awards going on and some things she's involved in. Tell me about the Children's Miracle Network. What is that?
Yeah, so for the last 3 years, she has been the ambassador for Children's of Alabama Hospital. And this year, she got selected as the Children's Miracle Network champion. So that means that at the national level, her picture is what you're going to see for Alabama, being the champion from Alabama. So, they're still kind of on the, COVID restriction. We don't travel or anything this year like they would in the past, but we do get to do a lot of radio, telethons, fundraisers, and then they get her picture out and kind of share a little bit of her story so people can get to know her and know who they're supporting when they give to Children's Miracle Network or to Children's Hospital.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's really big because people do want to see what they're giving to and who they're giving about. And I mean, I can tell people that are out there listening, if you ever met this little girl, it changes your life in 5 minutes because of how just that amazing, energy she has coming off of her and how excited she is just to be part of life. Now, you also were involved in a camp this past weekend that I was a part of, this Camp Strive. Could you tell us about how much fun she had there?
Tell me about Camp Strive. What did you get to do this weekend?
I got to, I don't know.
Well, we got to inner tube and you went airborne and we bumped around.
Airborne.
It went, you popped up out of the seat and came back down and you got to water ski. Yeah.
How about a fish? Did you catch a fish?
How many fish did you catch?
4.
4 fish. And what
Wow.
did you do to one of them?
Shit.
Kissed it.
Oh my goodness. So you kissed the fish. Now, that kind of leads me into something else. Mama, tell us the resources that are out there for a young lady like Logan to get involved in. I know Lakeshore was the one that put on the Camp Strive. Are there other things out there for parents listening that they can get their kids involved in?
So she's involved in the Moody Miracle League, but there's miracle leagues all around, at least I know, Central Alabama. And it is a baseball field that is wheelchair accessible, and they give every kid an opportunity to come up there and hit the ball and do a home run and go around all the bases. And so that's really fun for them. And like you mentioned, Lakeshore, right now she's just been doing swimming since she was 2 years old, but after that she can do basketball and track and field. And then once she gets even older, maybe she could do some tennis and some other different sports like that. She loves to go with me to the gym. She loves working out with me. What's one of your favorite workout moves? You want to show them? Okay, show them. You see?
Oh, yeah.
So that's her. She can do, she can do those. She can do push-ups. She can do planks. During COVID, when everything was kind of shut down with the gym, I teach Zumba. And so I did an online Zumba course where I was I sat in a chair and did all arm movements for the Spina Bifida Association of Alabama. So we were able to put that out for people. There's other things that we've done. We've done workout videos where I've held her and done squats with her, put her on my back, done push-ups, lifted her above my head for shoulder raises. I mean, it's just, as she's gotten bigger, that's a little more difficult. But back in the day, that was like a year or two ago. And so we were able to kind of put that out for people to just kind of get it out there that just modify it. You can do exactly what mommy does. We just do it in a different way. And we like working out together and the bond that we create doing that.
Well, and that sounds pretty cool that, to give other families options out there, that there are things you can do at home and there are different exercises that you don't have to have that gym. Just like when COVID was, around, we got the opportunity to take things within our home and be able to still stay in good fitness and good shape. Now, speaking of good shape, I also know that this young lady's been doing some modeling. Tell us about her modeling career.
Yes. So she is with the Ford agency out of Atlanta. And so they brought us out to Atlanta and did a photo shoot with Carter's Clothing. And so for about a year, she was above the pajamas there at Carter's little kids clothing line that they have. Her poster was up all over the nation for that. And then she also got to travel to Atlanta to do a commercial for the Cartoon Network. She did the alphabet. Do you remember what letter you did? What was your letter? I think you might have had U. How do you make a U with your arms? Yeah, and maybe O. Yeah, I forget what all the letters that she had. Oh, T. Show me a T. Yeah. So there were able-bodied kids there, and then they had her in the wheelchair to show, diversity and show that, she can be included and participate as well. So it was a really fun experience. They, acting is hard. And so they would have little breaks and they would turn on the music, and Logan loves to dance. You want to show him some dance moves?
Oh my goodness, you got them.
Yeah. And so the speakers had lights on it and she would twirl and everybody just loved it and put everybody in a good mood. And she was ready to act after that.
Wow. All right, so we've got a lot there on Logan going on. Let's switch gears just a little bit and let the world into Logan's mama's world, and kind of tell some of your story, because people want to know both sides of this thing and how sometimes dealing with a special child like that is a lot of I don't want to call it burden, but it's a lot of work on a mother and a family and getting everything done. How does mama deal with it every day from week to week? Where does your motivation come from?
So, obviously this was not the plan, but I always tell Logan, you roll with the punches. You just keep going, and it's all about your attitude. That's the most important thing in our world. Everyone goes through tragedies, everyone goes through adversities, and it's all about how you approach it. And you can either let it hinder you and let it get you down and stop you in the tracks, or you can embrace it and make the best of it. And that's what we've been doing. We've been, to me, I feel like when people say, oh, I couldn't do what you do and do all the things that you have to deal with, I just, you're such an inspiration. But honestly, it's being a parent and saying what's good for Logan and what can we do to make her have the best life? Because for me, I want her to be independent. My goal for her is for her to do everything independently so that she can live a life just like everyone else. And so everything that I do is motivated by Logan. So I even got involved in the bodybuilding industry last year and decided to do my first bikini competition at 40 years old. And so she went to the gym with me, and it just so happened it coincided. I sell something called Thrive through a company called Lavelle, and they were doing a 90-day, basically a 12-week challenge, and the grand prize was $50,000. And I thought, you know what? One of my goals is to make our house 100% accessible for Logan. And if I could win that grand prize, we could convert her little Jack and Jill bathroom that she can barely turn around in with her wheelchair into a wheelchair accessible bathroom. And that was my motivation for getting up every morning and doing my cardio and getting in the gym. And she loves the kids' room. And so that helps too. So I would bring her around to the gym and I would do my strength training. And after 12 weeks, I lost so much that I won first runner up, which was $25,000. So she's going to get her accessible bathroom because of that. So for me, my motivation for keeping fit myself and being able to lift her and transfer her and lift her wheelchair is to stay as strong and healthy as I possibly can. And so, yeah, like you said, kind of like a dynamic duo. She's my motivation for staying healthy and fit and accomplishing my goals, because I want her to see me working hard towards a goal, because she's working hard as well to accomplish things.
Now let's touch on some of your list of things too, so that people know where you're coming from. I know you do a nurse as well. Tell us about being a registered nurse. Yeah,
so nursing is my second career. My first degree is in broadcast journalism and public relations. I worked in the magazine sector for a while and then opened up my own gym. Closed that down around 2009 and moved up here to Birmingham, or back up here to Birmingham, and decided I was going to reinvent myself. So I decided to go back to school and become a registered nurse. And so I have been working in the emergency room of a local hospital for the last 10 years.
Wow. Now, also, we know you touched on it a second ago with the bodybuilding. Is there any pageants you've been involved in?
So I've been involved in the pageant industry for 29 years. And now after I won, I represented Alabama as Miss Alabama USA Petite, went to the national pageant and won that. So I am Mrs. USA Petite 2015. And so now I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to go out on top. And now I'm just going to work behind the scenes as a coach, and I judge pageants. And so I thought going into the bikini category of bodybuilding would be very similar. Being on stage, smiling, confidence, I had that aspect. I just need to build some more muscle and then cut the fat. So that's exactly what we did. And it wasn't sustainable. It's great that I did it. And I'm so glad that I set that goal for me. But now I'm just living life. And what are we doing now? We're going to different camps and vacation Bible schools. We're not living in the gym this summer like we were last summer. We're going to go to the lake and go kayaking and just have a great time. Just me and her doing whatever she wants to do. Now,
for everybody out there listening, now you see why I call them the dynamic duo, because both of them have won everything there is to not only win in the state of Alabama and represent from Little Miss Alabama to your pageant that you had won representing Alabama. But I mean, you guys have done everything. I mean, it's pretty amazing, like I said, to get to meet you guys and be around camps and watch how other people just take you guys in, and you inspire other people just by the way you carry yourselves every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I think we take advantage of opportunities that come our way. I'm a huge proponent of getting the word out. just bringing awareness of people in wheelchairs and bringing to light things that people don't normally think about, like how accessible are the businesses that you go to? When you park, why do you not park in the blue stripes? Why is that needed for wheelchair families? Things that people don't really think about until someone brings it to light and be like, hey, I know Logan, and this is how it's affecting her. I need to be more aware when I'm out, about the curb situation and how far away are the ramps and different things like that. So we try to take every opportunity to bring to light those types of things.
I watch it every single day in the public that it goes on, no matter if you're going to a hospital or going to a Walmart. Those handicap spots are for people like yourselves to be able to get her out and get her more accessible to the front door. And I watch people pull up and park in those spots that run inside because it's raining. And imagine how many people needed that spot and couldn't get it. And it really needs to be a little more focus on that sometimes.
Absolutely. And it's just bringing awareness. A lot of kids have never seen anyone in a wheelchair, and we welcome questions. We are not the type of family that, don't want to tell you about our story. We want you to know our story, because the more you know, the more it kind of settles inside of you and you relate that to other situations. And so, if kids ask Logan why she's in a wheelchair, she has an answer for that. We try to educate kids on why you don't push people in wheelchairs. Like, she's got this, and she will be the first to say, I got this. And, you don't have to push me. I got this, because it's an extension of her, and it would just like pushing someone in the back, and making them fall down. So just education. We love getting out in our community and just giving a face to the name of spina bifida, to being a wheelie kid, so that it's normal and people don't stare, because, well, they stare at her wheelchair because it's super awesome. What do you have on your wheelchair that's so awesome?
Spokes.
Yeah, different colored spokes. What's your favorite color?
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Okay.
So we have a color wheel. Her entire spoke are different colors, and then she has caster wheels that light up when she moves. And she has a colorful unicorn on the back of her wheelchair. So we did all of that because it gives parents something positive to say instead of feeling sorry for her, because we don't want anyone feeling sorry for her. She is a lightning. She is Mario Andretti in that wheelchair. And so we don't want people feeling sorry. We want to give a positive thing for them to say. And so they're like, hey, I love your wheels. And then the kids love the lights, and it starts a conversation. And then normally kids, you just give them the little, hey, my legs aren't as strong as yours, so this helps me get around. And they're good with it, and they go off and play just like normal.
Well, and speaking of that, that's going to rotate me into something else that we love to hear on our podcast is tell me a funny story about each one of you, so we can kind of get the lighter side of you two.
A funny story about Logan. Well, Logan loves imagination play, and she says the funniest things sometimes. And I just love, and I don't know that this is just Logan related, or maybe it's just being 5 years old, but part of her spina bifida diagnosis means that she has what's called a neurogenic bladder. We catheterize her every 3 to 4 hours. And I have and I'm a nurse, so I use medical terms. So I call it her urine cup. Daddy calls it a pee-pee cup, and that's what we catheterize her in, and then we dump it in and pull it. Well, one day I was cathing her, and I was like, hey, Daddy, I need her urine cup. And what did you say? You said, I'm not in the cup. Urine cup. Oh. I'm not in the cup. Yeah. So, that's really cute. She's always doing funny things like that. Like I said, her and her daddy will put pants on their head and call it their hat. And they just like to be funny and joke around like that. So
now, so tell us a funny story about Mama. Is there anything dealing with pageants that Mama may have had some mishaps?
I don't think so. Like I said, I roll with the punches, so I don't get embarrassed when things like that happen, because I can laugh at myself. I know just little things. I can have my airheaded moments. We were getting our air conditioner fixed right before camp, because we definitely didn't want to go all the way to camp with hot air in the car. And so we were sitting in the mechanic's office with my keychain, and Logan goes, hey, what is this? And there was like this little silver mark on the keychain. And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's for the battery. Well, the mechanic says, oh no, you flip it like this and it's a key to get into the car. And I had no idea that there was a key to the car. So Logan found out something that mommy did not even know.
Wow. That's pretty cool, isn't it, Logan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
We have what we do or like to do when we get close to the end of one of these podcasts is we have our signature series question that we love to ask everybody that comes on here. So Mom, tell us, we'll start with you first. If everything were to end tomorrow and all the bodybuilding was over and as we like to say, God called you home, what would you hope if there was a book wrote about your life? What would you hope people read in that book?
One of my favorite sayings is a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. And so if you don't go through adversity, you don't know how strong you can really be. And so I feel like each thing that has happened in my life, because I had a lot of stuff happen before even little Miss Logan was born, that I've had to overcome, deaths, for my brother, and a car accident, and all kinds of things that I've had to come back from. And it's how you approach things in life that matters most. And so for me, I hope that people look at a situation and can overcome an adversity to live their best life and not let it hinder them in any way. Make their mess become their message. And that's kind of what I've done, using what happened, the unique things that we've gone through to teach other people how to stay positive and how to just make the most of their situation and help other people through that. So if that was a book, that's what I would want it to be written about.
Well, and I understand that completely. I've heard it said before too, that you can't have a testimony without a test.
Absolutely.
So now give us a version here of little Miss Logan. What would you hope people read about her book? I mean, I know we're dealing with 5 years old and not a lot of life that she's come through just yet, but in my book, she's come through a lot of things because of not only her injuries that she's had to overcome, but also all these people she's inspiring along the way. What do you hope people read about her?
If a book was written about you, what would it be?
I forgot.
You forgot. I would hope that people would get to know Logan. If you want to come up and say hello, say hello. She loves to make new friends. And I think just because she gets around a little bit differently, she's a typical kid in every way. She loves typical kid stuff. And so I would say, follow your heart. Yeah, that would be your book. Follow your heart, because she loves imagination play. She loves to do everything that everyone else is doing. And we just find our own way of doing things.
Well, now, and before we get off here, I know there's one other little area I want to touch on. Logan, tell us about your new friend that you got coming along. Is Mommy training somebody to be your best friend?
She lost her first tooth today.
Oh, she did. So we got Logan a Australian Labradoodle. We drove all the way to Tampa, picked her up, and came back the next day just so Logan can have a service dog. She will be ready to actually do service dog training in about 2 years. So right now it's a lot of obedience work, but we are going to train her to do what? Help you with transfers, right? Right. Pick up what? Pick up things from the
floor.
Reach light switches. That's right. So she has one kind of really good leg. So I think that she'd be able to help out with transfers from her wheelchair to like the couch and other chairs and things like that. And really just be, like you said, a best friend for her. Right. So she can't touch all dogs because she breaks out in a rash. And so the Australian Labradoodle is more of your hypoallergenic type of dog. So she can actually love all over her and not break out in a rash. And so this allows her to have that best friend, that furry best friend, and also get some assistance out of it as well.
Wow. All right. So, Mama, when we wrap this thing up here, if there's people out there that are wanting to reach out and maybe ask some questions, about life with Logan or about how to overcome things, even the fitness world, is there ways people on social media could reach out to you to be able to contact you?
Absolutely. So Logan has a Facebook page, a Facebook group. It's called Uplifting Logan. I don't know if I put your middle name in there, but it's Elise, Elyse. I think it's just Uplifting Logan on Facebook. And for fitness questions, my Instagram, I've kind of dedicated towards that. I've got a lot of videos and strength training tips, nutrition, different kind of foods and things like that. And that is Candice, Candice McCool, McCool, .fit, FIT. So that's my Instagram handle.
Okay. Well, for everybody out there listening, there's your way to contact the dynamic duo to be able to ask them questions. Also to get involved in Candice's nutrition that she's out there doing. She's got a lot of products that she's repping as well to be able to change your life, not only with just your overall health, but your gut health, to be able to get your body back in the shape it needs. And as she and I talked before, to fill in those nutritional gaps that everybody misses sometimes in going through driving these supermarket meals, I call it, and driving through the fast food stuff. You need to really get the good nutrition, and she's got the information. So if you want to reach out there to her, and you don't have to get into the bodybuilding world and be something like her, but you can also get into a better quality of life and just enjoy life. So I want to thank you two ladies, you dynamic duo, for coming on and being part of our program.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, everybody out there listening, like and subscribe to the channel, and check us out for the next video that's upcoming. Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
All right.